Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you had class?
No, ma'am.
This is the first class to you today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, nice. So yesterday we talked, we discussed about the fibers. What you have in your syllabus is Kevlar and nylon 66. Of course, Kevlar is actually an advanced material. It's actually used for umpteen applications. It finds best applications in composite materials manufacturing. In fact, uh, that bulletproof cars are there nowadays for VVIP security and all. Hope you know that. Okay. It's right from fabrication of such hard car materials to uh, umpteen applications, you find Kevlar as one of the main material that is used in manufacturing composite materials. So what are these composite materials like cement and all, where it is an ingredient, it is a material which contains different ingredients in it. Okay, and whenever Kevlar is being used, it is the toughest material used for bulletproof purposes. Why so much of strength? It is because of the presence of aramid rings all throughout the length of the polymer chain, and also the hydrogen bonding in the amide. Okay, that makes the polymer really a tough material for utility. Okay, now I'll just move to the next one. Okay, that's the after discussing about the fibers, we are going to talk about the plastics. Okay, plastics plastics, and they are of two types. They exhibit the property of plasticity. That means when stress is applied and heat is applied on them, they'll undergo permanent physical deformation. Okay, they are of two types: thermoplastics, and this is all what we have discussed in detail the other day. And there are thermoset plastics, which are non-cyclizable plastics. These are cyclizable plastics. What example you have for thermoplastics is
Ma'am, adjust the camera, ma'am.
okay. You have PVC for the purpose. Emma, అర్థమైంది కదా మనం already we have discussed about thermoplastics. What you have in your syllabus is for thermoplastics you have PVC and thermoset plastics you have Bakelite. Okay, and we should discuss the manufacturing of the thermoplastic material, that is PVC, commonly called as PVC. The full name is polyvinyl chloride. Okay, that's what will be the next head. Polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride, commonly called as PVC. Okay. Now, the monomer of this polymer is vinyl chloride. Monomer is vinyl chloride. And its structure is CH2 double bond CHCl. That's the structure of the monomer. Okay. Roll number 74. 75. 76.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
No, that's the monomer. So now can you tell me what is the functionality of the
Ma'am, I can't hear.
monomer?
My net is very slow. Can you repeat?
Okay, yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, my net is slow. Can you repeat it? I couldn't get it.
You're not able to answer the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you sing me a song then?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Huh?
Can you repeat the
Dini
question?
vinyl chloride is the monomer. This is the polymer, polyvinyl chloride, and vinyl chloride is the monomer. That's the structure of the vinyl chloride. Now, you need to give me a few inputs for this. How you are going to give me the inputs? This monomer you are seeing, and what you can say, what is the functionality of the monomer? What is the functionality of the monomer? Cheppu. Aditya. Aditya.
Yes, ma'am.
ఏమిటి ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఏముంటుంది దీనికి ఎన్ని బైండింగ్ సైట్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఏంటమ్మా అర్థం కాలేదా ఫంక్షనాలిటీ అంటే నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ బైండింగ్ సైట్స్ అని చెప్పాను కదా ఎందుకు నీకు రావట్లే కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ హౌ మెనీ బైండింగ్ సైట్స్ ఎనీవన్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్
2, ma'am. 2.
two binding sites how I've got two binding sites
One is H and another
Yes.
one is Cl, ma'am.
on both the carbons okay
Yes, ma'am.
which bond will break
Pi bond, ma'am.
pi bond will break okay so what type of polymerization it is roll number 76 what type of polymerization 76 is present 77 78 79
Addition
80.
polymerization, ma'am.
Nana?
Addition polymerization.
Yes, addition polymerization. Okay, it can be free radical or ionic, but
Yes,
generally we'll suppose it to be addition polymerization. Okay, so the discussion. Now, do you know anything about this PVC? Do you use it in your day-to-day life?
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
In plumbing pipes
Yes, lovely. That's the one.
and electrical pipes also.
Yeah, electrical piping and what all? What one more point I told with you all. In Japan, what did I say? The encasing of the copper wires, RGB. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Yes. The sheathing that is present on the copper wires of the electrical wiring is also PVC. You'll be surprised. Nowadays, because it's all COVID time and all, we are using very much all these medical things. You'll be surprised. Even the syringes we are using, okay, the disposable ones are all made up of PVC material. That's application. High-end engineering materials too, to the medical equipments and all are made up of PVC. Okay, and what you should here realize is that PVC, polyvinyl chloride, I think I've already told you. See, actually, random polymerization takes place if you suppose it to be free radical addition polymerization. But sometimes to get symbiotic or isotactic polymers, in the case of PVC, I'll try to use Ziegler-Natta catalyst or cationic or anionic polymerization, cationic in general, for the purpose. Okay, so that's the idea. Fine, but anyways, it is addition polymerization. That's easy. You see, if you one point I want to tell you all, this is actually very interesting because this is all these materials we are using in our day-to-day life. Probably you know a few of them. Like whenever I talk about Bakelite, the next one, it's all about our plex switchboards. We'll switch on light, we'll switch off the light. And you know, we are using all these materials daily. Okay, but you'll be surprised that the material we are using in our day-to-day life has a different composition. Like though PVC is a rigid hard material, okay, and it is a little bit uh, I should say brittle also, unplasticized PVC, they are used for plumbing purposes. Okay, but you can also realize that there is one more polymer like bakelite which is used for switchboards, plugs and all. Okay, and the technology is huge. You should realize is that these materials you know, but the technology and the engineering behind them is very much lovely and very much usable. Okay, and means it's of importance to you all as well with the advent of IoT. Okay, and hence the knowledge. Okay, then I'll just move on to my discussion. Good, Rahman. Okay, so did you write it? Vinyl chloride is the monomer. So what's the next point I need to write? Functionality. Now why I'm telling you like this? Why I'm making you, in spite of spending good amount of time explaining, and I am very sure you can't remember. This have to be studied before your exam. Still, why I'm making you write on these lines is because that's it. If you learn like this, it will be very, very useful. By chance, if you don't study also, you can write something and don't leave the question. That's what I mean. This is how you can go ahead. Functionality 2. Okay. Pi bond participates. Okay. Next, polymerization is addition polymerization. Addition polymerization. Okay. Now, what will be the next point? Right? The polymer structure. CH2 double bond CHCl N molecules. Are you able to see the board? The N molecules will react to form. I am writing here for ease and convenience. I am writing the free radical polymerization process. Okay, there I use peroxides. So what are the peroxides that are commonly used are benzoyl peroxide and little bit of hydrogen peroxide. So you'll say benzoyl peroxide. Then I'm showing the free radical initiator. Benzoyl peroxide along with H2O2, little amount, small quantity. Okay, will give what I'd say always CH2, CH, Cl, should not put for Cl. Okay, taken N times. That is nothing but PVC, polyvinyl chloride. This is vinyl chloride. Okay, so that's the one. Next, easy, very easy. That's what is the point. So this line I want to write. What is write? Right, please jot down. PVC is obtained by heating, water emulsion of vinyl chloride, water emulsion of vinyl chloride using benzoyl peroxide as initiator. Using benzoyl peroxide as initiator. In an autoclave under pressure. In an autoclave under pressure. Under pressure. Next point. I shall rub the board. Hope you have jotted down all these things. Okay. Right. Next point. Properties. Properties. So what's the first property you can write? What's the first property you can write? Ramachandra. What's the first property you can write? Is it a fiber, rubber, or a plastic? Hello, I'm asking you all.
Plastic.
Plastic.
So what are you going to write? So it's a thermoplastic material which is colorless, odorless, okay, and it has high melting point, okay, or high softening temperature. That's the first thing you can say, okay. Then what else you can say? That the structure of the PVC depends upon the type of polymerization. Why? Sometimes the chlorine groups can be on the same side, that is isotactic, alternate, symbiotic, or random atactic. In free radical, it is random, that is atactic polymerization will take place. But if you want to do the polymerization to a particular direction of orientation of chlorine groups, then the polymerization is not by free radical mechanism, rather by ionic or Ziegler-Natta catalysts are being generally used for the purpose. That is, coordinate chain polymerization is done. So that's the other point. What else you can write? That a plastic can be a plasticized PVC and unplasticized PVC. Okay. So how I'm getting plasticized PVC? Adding reagents or plasticizers like tricresyl phosphate or tributyl phthalate, etc., and making it into a plasticized PVC. Now, what is the behavior of this plasticized PVC? It is soft and flexible. Okay. Whereas unplasticized PVC is the rigid material that is used. But no matter whether it is plasticized or unplasticized, for any of these polymeric materials, you can always write they are chemically less reactive, do not undergo any corrosion, they are water resistant, okay, they are thermal and electrical insulators. Points. By default, all these are the very characteristics of any polymeric material, okay, and hence the heading properties, right? Properties. Properties. PVC, colorless, odorless, odor. Excuse me. Colorless, odorless, chemically inert, chemically inert, thermal and electrical insulating material. That's the first point. colorless, odorless, chemically inert, thermally and electrically insulating material. Next, that's the first point. What did I say? Second point, high softening temperature. I'll tell you what it is. What is the temperature? 48. High softening temperature. High softening temperature. 148 degrees centigrade. Rigid. Rigid. Stiff material. Stiff compound. Stiff compound. Next property is commercially used as PVC, plasticized, unplasticized PVC, unplasticized PVC. Plasticized PVC. Plasticized PVC and unplasticized PVC. Okay, adi vishయం. నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చెప్పాను, ప్లాస్టిసైజ్డ్ పీవీసీ ఎప్పుడు అవుతుంది? ప్లాస్టిసైజ్డ్ పీవీసీ ఎప్పుడు అవుతుంది? Plasticized PVC is soft, flexible, whereas unplasticized PVC is hard, stiff, and brittle. Hard, stiff, and brittle. Okay. Now what you'll write? Plasticizers like tricresyl phosphate, or tributyl phthalate. Dibutyl phthalate are additives. Okay, are additives. That's it. That's the point. Emma, got a point?
Ma'am,
Fine.
once repeat that, ma'am. Board is not clear, ma'am.
Okay.
Plasticized.
Is it clear? See, I was like trying to tell you all that the plastic, this PVC is soft and flexible and hard and rigid. Now, how this is made into soft and flexible material? By using plasticizers. These are additives. Okay. Yesterday, I was like trying to tell you all that after polymerization, what you'll get is a resin. To that resin, I'll add various compounds. Okay. These compounds which I'm adding are called as additives. Okay. And that process is called as compounding. So during compounding of this PVC, if I'm using materials like plasticizers, what are these plasticizers? These are the chemical compounds, tricresyl phosphate or dibutyl phthalate are the additives. Okay. If you're using such additives, you're adding them to the resin. Okay. Then that PVC becomes soft and flexible. What we are using as a sheeting on that copper wire for our electrical wires. No, The same PVC, if I'm not adding any additives like this tricroscyl phosphate or dibutyl phthalate, because I've not added any additives, it is called unplasticized PVC. Okay, that means I've not used plasticizers. So such PVC is what we are using for our plumbing purposes, hard, stiff and brittle material. Okay, and that's the beauty of compounding and fabrication. Even if you see, if I'm doing a plasticized PVC, will all the electrical wires are of the same color? No, each electrical wire is of each different color. Earth, phase and neutral, am I right? Or the three wires. Generally they'll use RBC wires for that, red, green and blue. Okay, so or whatever color for identification. So what you are seeing, that means after adding plasticizer, I have used different pigments for making different colors of that sheathing. Okay, again the coloring pigment is also an additive. So this is called as compounding. So that's the main idea behind the manufacturing of PVC. Okay, now I'll just go to the applications or uses. Applications or uses. Applications where we are using okay, let me summarize as plasticized PVC and unplasticized PVC. Is that okay? So applications, first one, plasticized PVC. Plasticized PVC. So this is a soft and flexible polymer, soft and flexible polymer used as continuous sheets. Please do jot down. I shall keep telling. Used as continuous sheets. For packing materials. Continuous sheets for packing materials. Next, second one. What do you say? Electrical insulation. Second one is electrical insulation for making coverings for electrical wires. Coverings for electrical wires. For making coverings for electrical wires or cables. Used for making raincoats, tablecloths, curtains, etc. Okay, next. Also used for making conveyor belts and linings in chemical industry. Okay, next. Combined with combined with other polymers, finding applications in medical industry. Finding applications in medical industry. Medical industry, like disposable syringes, etc. Disposable syringes, etc. Okay. That's it. Next. Unplasticized PVC. Unplasticized PVC. Unplasticized PVC. The one is, or it is also called the rigid PVC. Rigid PVC, hard, brittle, hard, brittle, and stiff polymer, used for right, making plumbing applications, tank linings, refrigerator and tire components, refrigeration and tire components, for motorcycle mudguards, etc. Motorcycle mudguards, etc. Okay, that's about the PVC. There's much more, but let us confine our discussion. Okay. Now, the second one. Right. This is an example of thermoplastic resin, which you have in syllabus. Next one is important. Bakelite. I hope everything is clear. Able to see the board. Okay, right. The next one, bakelite. Okay. They are also called phenolic resins, also called phenolic resins, or phenol formaldehyde phenol formaldehyde resins. Phenolic resins or phenol formaldehyde resins. Was made by a person called Bakelite. Okay. A great, again, revolutionary polymer, in fact. It has changed many dimensions of engineering applications. Okay. I'll spend some time little later, but today I just want to finish this topic. So very keen that I should be little fast. Okay. So what's the first one? Monomers. I think these are very important. Whatever I'm just jotting down right now on the board are very important, commonly asked questions. Monomers, phenol, and formaldehyde. Phenol and formaldehyde. What's the second one? Functionality. Functionality. Phenol is 3. This is famous. Very important. Phenol is 3. Formaldehyde is 2. Formaldehyde is 2. Polymerization, condensation. Polymerization is condensation. Condensation, polymerization. Condensation, polymerization involving 3 steps. Involving 3 steps. Okay. Fourth one. Structure. Okay. So what I'm giving you is sometimes they're asking a very simple one. So please do catch up along with me. This is phenol. And this is formaldehyde, HC double bond OH. That is formaldehyde. Gives what you'll say, bakelite. How to write the structure of bakelite is what I want to tell you right now. Just look at the board. It's a very easy structure if you understand. If you don't understand, it will be a very, very complicated structure. Okay, just look at the board. I'll make it as 3 phenols. First, what I'm doing, I'm writing 3 phenols. Okay, I'm writing 3 phenols side by side, leaving some distance. Okay. And what I've done, I've connected these 3 phenols with a CH2 group, methylene group, like this. That's how I've written the methylene group. Okay. What I've done, I've I'm writing another phenolic structures in a reverse order, exactly mirror image. Again, write 3 phenols like this. Okay. And again, connect them with CH2 group. Very simple. Is it not? Now, connect these corresponding phenolic structures with CH2 like this. Then what you are going to do? At the edges, put a line like that to show the continuity of the polymer. And that is nothing but bakelite. That's the structure of bakelite. It's a very easy structure. If you just see, otherwise, it appears to be a complicated structure. But otherwise, it's very, very easy. That is nothing but bakelite. Write it down. Em rastaru? Em cheppa? Keep writing. I'll explain. This is structure of phenol. Then functionality 3. This is important famous bit question gani. Leda, shoot short. Many a times they'll ask for writing the structure of monomers and the polymer. ఈ మధ్యన ఒక 4 or 5 monomers ఇచ్చి polymers ఇచ్చి వాటి స్ట్రక్చర్స్ రాయండి, మోనోమర్ స్ట్రక్చర్ పాలిమర్ స్ట్రక్చర్ అని అంటారు, 1 మార్క్ అలాగా. సో మోనోమర్ ఏంటి? ఫినాల్ ఫార్మాల్డిహైడ్. ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఫినాల్ ఈస్ 3, ఫార్మాల్డిహైడ్ ఈస్ 2. సరే, అది బెకలైట్. ఎన్ని స్టెప్స్ లో అవుతుంది ప్రిపరేషన్? 3 స్టెప్ లో అవుతుంది.
Ma'am, how ma'am functionality 3? Just once explain, ma'am.
హౌ మెనీ బైండింగ్ సైట్స్ ఉన్నాయి అది నెక్స్ట్ చెప్దామని, నువ్వు ఫస్ట్ ఇది రాసేస్తే చెప్దామని. హౌ మెనీ బైండింగ్ సైట్స్ అంటే ఈ ఫార్మ్ దట్ ఐల్ టెల్ యూ ఇన్ అనదర్ మినిట్. ఫస్ట్ డిడ్ యూ గెట్ ద స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆఫ్ బెకలైట్? ఎలా రాసావు బెకలైట్ స్ట్రక్చర్? నేను చెప్పాను ఫినాల్స్ వేసేయండి, 3 ఫినాల్స్ వేయండి. ఆ 3 ఫినాల్స్ ని మధ్యలో CH2 గ్రూప్, ఇది ఈ హిల్లీ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఏంటి? CH2 గ్రూప్, ఇది కంబైన్ చేయండి. మళ్ళా జస్ట్ మిర్రర్ ఇమేజ్ లో రివర్స్ లో OH గ్రూప్స్ పెట్టేసి మళ్ళా 3 ఫినాల్స్ CH2 గ్రూప్స్ పెట్టండి. ఈ రెండింటిని మధ్యలో CH2 వేసి అలైన్ చేసేయండి. చేసి ఒక ఇలా బ్రాకెట్ వేసి NN పెట్టేస్తే అదే బెకలైట్. ఇప్పుడు హోల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ టైం పడుతుంది, అందుకని ఆ 3 స్టెప్స్ చెప్పడానికి ఇప్పుడు ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ 3 actually 30 minutes for me. I don't know have time or not. At least initiate, I will do it. My God. Hey, tomorrow you have a class at what time? 11 o'clock sharp. Andaru join అయిపోతున్నారు. ప్రేరణ అందరూ కోపం వస్తుంది వాళ్ళకి మళ్ళా నేను ఏదన్నా అంటే. ఇది ఇప్పుడు బెకలైట్ నువ్వు ఇప్పుడు వేసావంటే నీకు ఈజీ, ఎగ్జామ్ లో కూడా వెరీ ఈజీ. లేకపోయింది అనుకో, ఫస్ట్ టైం నువ్వు వేయాలని ప్రయత్నిస్తే అనిపిస్తుంది, but it is very easy. That's what I want to tell you. What's the time now? I have time 10-15 minutes more. Actually 20 minutes more I think I can complete. Okay, did you write the structure? Okay, right. The 5th point, it's a pretty important one. Please do concentrate and don't detour yourself unnecessarily. What's the 5th point? Preparation. Under that you'll write. It takes place in 3 steps. It takes place in 3 steps. And it takes place in 3 steps. And the condensation polymerization products depend on first one, condensation polymerization product depends on phenol formaldehyde ratio, phenol formaldehyde ratio, phenol formaldehyde ratio, called as P by F ratio. The product depends upon the phenol formaldehyde ratio. Second one, the type of catalyst used. That is acidic or basic. Acidic or basic. Acidic or basic. Okay. Okay. Next. This is for explanation. Don't write here right now. Okay. Now, how the functionality of the phenol is going to be. Don't write this. This is for explanation. Did you write till this point? Then hold on. Okay. So, this is the phenolic ring. Okay. So, when you take a phenolic ring, how many positions are there on the benzene group? There is this position and this position, which is adjacent to OH group. These positions are called as ortho positions. The alternate position to OH group is called as meta position. Okay. And the exact opposite position is the para position. I hope you all know this. Okay. So, on a benzene ring having a single substitution, there are three positions: ortho position, para position, and meta position. Okay. So, the substitution is either ortho para or meta. Generally, OH undergoes ortho para substitution. Okay. Because it is ring activating group. Fine. And hence, in this case, the formaldehyde group will act, will add on or undergoes electrophilic substitution onto the benzene ring at ortho and para positions. Because how many ortho positions are there now? 2 ortho positions. And there is 1 para position. So how many positions are there on the phenolic ring for the substitution of the formaldehyde group? 1, 2, 3. And hence the functionality of phenol is 3. అర్థమైందా? ఇంతవరకు రాసిన తర్వాత ఇది ఈ పాయింట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకుని ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఫినాల్ 3 ఎందుకో చెప్పిన తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్ చెప్తాను. ఓకే. ఫస్ట్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఫినాల్ 3 ఎలాగా అని అడిగితే, ఒక ఫినాల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది? బెంజీన్ కి OH గ్రూప్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే. ఆ బెంజీన్ కి OH గ్రూప్ ఉన్న చోట అక్కడ ఈ ఫార్మాల్డిహైడ్ మాలిక్యూల్ ఏమవుతుంది? ఎలక్ట్రోఫిలిక్ సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ రియాక్షన్ అవుతుంది ఈ బెంజీన్ రింగ్ మీద, బెంజీన్ రింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫినాల్ మీద. సరే, OH గ్రూప్ రింగ్ యాక్టివేటింగ్ గ్రూప్, అందుకనే అది ఆర్థో పొజిషన్స్ లో, పారా పొజిషన్స్ లో ఈ ఫార్మాల్డిహైడ్ మాలిక్యూల్ ని యాడ్ చేసుకోగలదు. ఓకే. అంటే ఒక బెంజీన్ రింగ్ మీద సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఒకటి ఉంటే, ఓకే, ఆ బెంజీన్ కి ఎన్ని పొజిషన్స్ ఉంటాయంటే 3 సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ పొజిషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఈ సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ OH గ్రూప్ కి ఈ జస్ట్ అడ్జసెంట్ 2 పొజిషన్స్ ఏంటి? ఆర్థో పొజిషన్స్. ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఆపోజిట్ పొజిషన్ ఏంటి? పారా పొజిషన్. ఆల్టర్నేట్ పొజిషన్ ఏంటి? మెటా పొజిషన్. OH గ్రూప్ రింగ్ యాక్టివేటింగ్ కాబట్టి ఏమవుతుంది? ఆర్థో పారా సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ అవుతుంది. ఎన్ని ఆర్థో పొజిషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి? ఇదొక ఆర్థో పొజిషన్, ఇదొక ఆర్థో పొజిషన్. 2 ఆర్థో పొజిషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఒకటి పారా పొజిషన్ ఉంది, 1,4 పొజిషన్. సో ఎన్ని చోట్ల ఈ ఫార్మాల్డిహైడ్ మాలిక్యూల్ యాడ్ అవ్వగలదు? 3 ప్లేసెస్ లో, 1, 2 and 3. సో దాని ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఎంత? ఫినాల్ ది 3. As usual, formaldehyde will have 2 functionality. Hope you understood now. Okay. If you have a doubt, just raise your hand. But this is supposed to be one of the famous favorite questions of most of the examiners. Okay. Now, how this group will add on to this phenolic ring as CH2 group, O, methylyl group. Okay. How, again, I don't want to show the mechanism, so I'm just holding on it. And it gets substituted as CH2OH group on the benzene ring. ఏమవుతుంది ఎలక్ట్రాన్ రిచ్ ఇక్కడ కార్బన్ మీద యాక్ట్ చేసి మూవ్ అయ్యి CH2OH ఈ బెంజీన్ మళ్ళీ రెజొనెన్స్ వచ్చేసిన తర్వాత CH2OH group. Okay. Lack of time, I'm not showing the mechanism. Okay, just we'll hold the mechanism. But hope you understood how the functionality of phenol is 3. Sorry, I'll hold the discussion there. Fine. No, the CH2OH group allows to the mechanism. Okay. This will be OH. That will be the thing. C H2O minus. Okay. Now this H would be going here. Will give the structure like this. At how many positions? 3 positions. 2 ortho positions and 1 para position is giving the functionality 3 to the phenolic ring. Okay. I'll hold the discussion here. Now that's the idea. So hope you understood that the preparation of phenol, the bakelite, depends upon the 2 important factors. One is the phenol formaldehyde ratio and the type of catalyst used. Okay. Next point is the 3 steps involved are first one, electrophilic substitution on phenol ring, by formaldehyde molecule. By formaldehyde molecule. అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను జస్ట్ చూపించింది. By formaldehyde molecule. That's the first one. The first step is substitution of the formaldehyde molecule on the phenolic ring. Okay. At how many positions? 3 positions. 2 ortho and 1 para. And hence the functionality of phenol is 3. What's the second one? Okay. Polymerization of methylol phenol. Polymerization of methylol phenol to form linear polymer Novolac. To form the linear polymer Novolac. Sometimes it is also Resol. Novolac or Resol. Hope you are able to write this. Novolac or Resol. The third one is curing of Novolac using urotropine or hexamethylene tetramine. I'm not able to find the pen. I hope whatever I'm writing is clear. Urotropine or hexamethylene tetramine. You're not able to see? Hexamethylene. This urotropine is also called as hexamethylene tetramine. To form cross-linked bakelite. Not able to get another pen right now, and I want to stop here. I have to take attendance to get bakelite. Over. Hope the board is clear. Are you able to see? Please do check. Now tomorrow the first question will be why the functionality of phenol is 3 it will be my question. Please join sharp by 11 o'clock tomorrow. I want to finish a little bit more syllabus. See, actually, we have to discuss about the batteries. If I just explain just like that in a routine pattern, it'll take just 2.5, 3 classes for me. But because I want to make it little discussive and a little more interactive, I am requesting time from you all, because you're reluctant to join me on Sunday, which is actually will make ease out the things. Please do join tomorrow by 11 o'clock. And on Monday, you're otherwise busy. So it's a tough thing for me to conclude the syllabus before you're mid at this pace. But if I don't explain the polymers topic like this, it will be a pretty boring stuff for you. That's the only idea. Okay. So answer your attendance. Roll number 61.
Present, ma'am.